Alright, fuckers and fuckettes, I want you to notice in here, bottom is all dark and the top's all light. Well, this right here is what happens when you mix .3 and .3 brake fluid regular and .4 synthetic. They do not ever completely mix. I had to let this sit overnight so I could exaggerate the point, but that's what happened here. So what you do when you get one of these is them brakes are gonna hang up, because they also make this shit that kind of looks like paint flakes happen in your calipers if it's been in there for more than a couple of years. Well, actually in your master cylinder too, because that's what this one was doing. It was the return passage had gotten blocked with that shit. Well, you ain't got to take them apart if that's all it is somebody mixed their fluid. I mean, you do if they let it sit for 10 or 20 years, but thankfully this one only sat for a year or two like that. So, hook up my brake meter. I have already drained this sucker dry, caliper and all. I did that so I could show you exactly what the cause of this whole mess was. Get it to where my cup's going to stay level there. Now, that up there, perfect. You can get this in liquid form. It's Napa non-chlorinated brake parts cleaner. Go on ahead, and if you ain't got liquid form, do like I do, just very gently spray along an edge so you don't get this shit in your eyes, because that hurts. Fucking eye will be dry for 2 or 3 days after that. And then you'll be teared up like a motherfucker when you finally recover. People think you crying like a bitch over some shit. And I'm just spraying real slow because I don't like getting this shit in my eyes, and even though I got glasses on, I've had the shit come up under my glasses. So be careful with it. Shit hurts when it gets in your eyes. Now, all I have to do is pump a little through. And actually I'm going to cheat and use my bleeder here. Now if your shit's rusty, you know, if it's not because somebody mixed the two kinds of brake fluid, I recommend taking it apart, doing a full inspection and doing a rebuild. I didn't know for a fact that that's what did this. I would not be doing this way. But I can automatically tell by the two kinds not mixing. You know, I see that in the cup, it's like, ha, fuck. Alright, I know what happened here. They don't actually mix. And it may just be some of the older brake fluids not mixing with the newer synthetic. Because I have seen .3 and 4 both. It'll say right on the can, .3 and 4. But I know in this case it was regular yellow can Prestone fucking .3 brake fluid got mixed with some .4 synthetic, and she's going to get refilled with 100% .4. She's not going to see any .3 ever again, except in an emergency situation, but there shouldn't ever be an emergency situation like that, because a responsible rider before they started in the morning. They check their clutch, they check their brakes, they check their fucking oil. They make sure that their machine's in good shape and ready to go. Democratic Party member figures, well, hell, Obama will come up with a program that'll do that for him. Us taxpayers will have to support that shit.
Hello there.
Hey!
How we doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Give me 1 second. I'm shooting a quickie video here.
Okay.
Okay, I'm getting brake parts cleaner into my cup.
Huh?
Sorry, talking to the camera
I
here.
know those here.
And there she goes. And now you leave that sit in there for an hour, and I'll resume this video in a minute because I got somebody here right now. Leave that in there for an hour. Okay, fuckers and fuckettes, it's been about an hour. I've sucked through enough to where I have fluid coming into my cup, which is really brake parts cleaner, and I cannot specify enough you have to use the non-chlorinated to pull this off. Now before you go pumping on your top brake, get you some brake fluid in there. So otherwise that drum ain't going to have no lubrication and the bit's going to hang up in there. A little bit like that right there. Now I had stuck my it's going to be stiff the first couple of seconds. Sometimes you have to finger it to get it to come back out. Don't worry about that. That's normal. You're going to have to get that brake fluid in there to get it lubricated, or that rubber's just going to hang up. come. It takes you a while to get the job done. Oh well. Now she's not going to work her all the way in right now. Yes, I am. And this is just a way to save them, you know, without having to rebuild. Like, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you know, 2,000 miles from home and you need to get home, this is one way of getting your ass home and you can rebuild it later. Okay, now she's lubed back up. She's acting like she's supposed to. Okay? That means that there's fresh brake fluid on that rubber. And I cannot stress enough, don't leave the brake parts cleaner in there for more than an hour. In fact, you might want to go a little bit less depending on how old your rubber is. I know that this rubber's 1988, and I ain't hurting it none, but this gets the whole brake system cleaned out, by the way. Later on I will rebuild this master. Calipers I shouldn't have to. Let that sucker get some suck going. Pump action going at the same time here. Let that air just come on out. And I start squirting juice down in there off of this batch. Then we know that we're through. So anyway, I've shown you all how to bleed brakes before. This is just a little helpful hint on one way to clean them out if you don't want to take it all the way apart. But you know that you got a problem in there, and I'm going to flush through probably a quart of .4, so there's no sense me keeping this on there the whole time. Like I say, I'm going to pull an entire quart through just to make sure that I've got all that brake parts cleaner out of there and all the crap out of there, and I'm on nothing but pure brand new brake fluid. So, alright, we'll holler at y'all fuckers and fuckettes later. I hope I was helpful to someone, and if I wasn't, well, hey, you know, at least I tried.